Chris here, getting ready to jump out in the gym and do some training, but this video is a little bit overdue. Clearly, I haven't been updating my training logs here on YouTube for quite some time, like 3-4 weeks, something like that. It has been interesting, so we're gonna dive into that. And well, I'm not gonna discuss a lot of training details because there really wasn't a lot of training going on. There is some important things to know that you want to take note of yourself. So anyway, it started out for me with the flu, and then turned into pneumonia. Pneumonia, I got put on antibiotics. I was coughing up blood for like 5 days, and then finally got better. Had some sick kids, of course, to deal with. Luckily, they didn't get the flu. They picked up a cold, which I did not get. But I got over the pneumonia, still had a couple days left on the antibiotics because you want to run the full course of those, and went into the gym. So at this point I'd missed a couple weeks of training. So I did a full body workout to kind of flush everything, refill glycogen stores, and just, it's something I typically do if I miss a little bit of training, is just do some pump workouts and get the body prepped before jumping back into my training. So the next day I came in, and this was my last day on antibiotics, and did some deadlifting work up to like 725, did a few doubles, and then dropped down to 675, and was gonna do like 8 or 10 reps. And on rep 5, not even like straining, no loss of position, not really fatigued, nothing. All of a sudden, pop, 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 right in my hamstring, left hamstring. Not good. So definitely felt the muscle tearing. Dropped the bar at that point. One of my chiros happened to be lifting about 10 feet away from me. So we were able to do a pretty quick assessment, see what was going on. Looked at grade 3 tear in the peroneus and in the gastroc, probably some damage in the soleus as well. Didn't see a lot in the hamstring at that point, so thought it was maybe a grade 1 tear there. But the peroneus and the gastroc very evident. You can see the muscle pulled down, and the bundled up material below pulled away at the proximal side, so kind of down, materials bundled up, the extra muscles bundled up down mid shin or below. Particularly on the peroneus is really bad, and you can see the divots. And the contraction was hard enough, it shifted my fibular head as well, so that bone was kind of pulled away, and we had to reset that immediately, which again, luckily that was there. And then started doing rehab immediately. Well, like later that afternoon, and then the next day. This happened on a Saturday, so over the course of the weekend got a lot in, and made really quick progress, able to return to walking normal relatively, within a day or two. Really working a lot of scraping type work up front. So my practitioner, she uses the Zuka tool set. I use on myself the leopard claw. I also do have the rock blade as well, but that one's sitting on a table somewhere. Don't really use that often. And then once getting some of that down, and to a point I was able to start working the boomstick with some mobilization strategies in with it. So both that and the scraping, constantly do a lot of movement with those. Kind of getting off track here. So the important thing to note here is I was on antibiotics. And so after doing a little bit of research, quickly found out that certain antibiotics or families of antibiotics are very dangerous for both muscle and tendon ruptures. And a lot of times those preference both the calf and the hamstring, which to me makes a lot of sense because, if you're dehydrated, lying, let's say, like inactive, lying in bed, that sort of thing, or electrolyte balance off, what are the things that cramp on you first? Everybody has calf cramps. So calves and hammies are really, one of the first sites of cramping. So makes sense why it would be one of the first sites of having tendon and muscle ruptures, which is exactly what happened. So not all antibiotics are known for doing this, but if you're on antibiotics or you need to, or your doctor's prescribing them, make sure you understand the risks associated with which ones you're on, which I was not made aware of, which is unfortunate. I do remember now, of course, after the fact, reading research on this like 10 years ago. It's one of those things like, how much information do you have and how much do you forget? And I forgot that one, and so that's unfortunate. Makes it a bit of a freak accident because I wasn't training heavy, I wasn't in fatigue, I wasn't in out of position, and really frustrating because I was just getting ready to start training heavy and start ramping towards, my next goal, which was a large conventional deadlift. You could guess the amount, but I was hoping to do that in September-ish of this year. So little bit frustrating on that end, but we'll work around it. Unfortunately, I just got some imaging done, so it's been recovering, but I'm still I recover really fast with the methodology that I use, but it still wasn't recovering quite the way that I expected. So I went and had some imaging done. Peroneus and gastroc tendons are intact. Obviously, we've got some muscle damage, but in those areas, I've got a significant amount of muscle. I'm not too worried about some of that being pulled away. Hamstring was not okay. So pretty severe grade 3 tear in the hamstring, a lot of muscle belly pulled away, and a lot of damage at the tendon and muscle juncture. So I am going to be probably talking to an orthopedic surgeon next and see where we can go, where I should go. I'd really like to avoid the knife. And also, I really, again, I want to talk to a professional, but that tendon muscle juncture is not the same thing as a tendon to bone issue, and also it wasn't a full rupture as well. So depending on the condition of the tendon and that junction, maybe looking at PRP, stem cell type of treatment with that. So which is interesting because I'm not really feeling a lot of issues in the hamstring, but apparently there's some pretty severe damage and quite a bit of missing muscle tissue as well. So like I said, all in all, pretty frustrating. I did talk about my rehab philosophies in a separate video back in January, doing pretty much the same thing here, but in this journey I might actually, if there's an interest in it, start filming some of the daily stuff that I'm doing with it. So again, a lot of active immobilization, scraping type stuff with that excess muscle that's been pulled away, as well as again in using those same mobilization strategies while doing the scraping. Combining a lot of BFR, or poor man's blood flow restriction training with movement. The big proponent of movement for speeding up the healing process. Movement not into pain, but within pain, and kind of pushing those boundaries. So been doing a lot of that as well. We've really found that that 4-inch wide kabuki strength floss band that we sell is just absolutely the best tool I've found for doing lower extremity BFR if you don't have an actual clinical BFR cuff. As a side note, we are holding a clinical-based BFR certification. Well, certified athletic trainers can also get CEU credits as well. So certified athletic trainers and clinicians, BFR clinic at Kabuki Strength, July 29th, being taught by Owens Recovery Science. We'll be using the Delphi BFR cuff with that. But if you're interested, check out Owens Recovery website to sign up. So this will be really cool at our facility. And I will probably be working with a certified person in this methodology here prior to that, so we can hopefully see some results from that. So sorry about the loss in training. If there's interest in me filming some of the rehab stuff, I will start doing that. But in the interim, I guess I got to learn to bench again. It's been a while. Probably not going to be benching heavy, just kind of kidding. But I will be doing a lot more upper body training. Well, I have been this week because that's all I can do at the moment. So with that, I'm out.